Animal health gap undermines global SDG progress. A new report from SEI and CEAP warns that overlooking animal health and welfare in the SDG framework is limiting global progress on public health, climate resilience, and sustainable development, a growing governance blind spot. The report, Integrating Animal Health and Welfare into the 2030 Agenda and Beyond, released on December 9th, argues that the current SDG architecture cannot deliver its objectives without integrating animal welfare as a core pillar of sustainable development. The findings arrive as ministers gather in Nairobi for the 7th UN Environment Assembly, UNEA 7, where One Health discussions are gaining momentum in the wake of COVID-19, zoonotic outbreaks, and escalating antimicrobial resistance. SEI senior scientist and co-lead author Cleo Verkyle stressed the stakes. If we want a coherent and effective sustainable development agenda, we can no longer treat animal welfare as an afterthought. Improving the well-being of animals can help tackle the root causes of many global crises, from pandemics to climate change, while improving livelihoods and public health. The omission, the authors argue, has global implications. Nearly 75% of emerging infectious diseases originate from animals, and a majority of medically important antibiotics continue to be used in livestock production. Why the SDGs fall short? Despite growing recognition of One Health by agencies including WHO, FAO, UNEP, and the World Organization for Animal Health, the SDGs still lack explicit targets connecting human, environmental, and animal health. This gap has increasingly become a structural challenge in global governance. Jeff Sebo, director of CEAP and co-lead author, emphasized the urgency. As UNEA 7 brings leaders together in Nairobi, we have an opportunity to take practical steps to embed animal health and welfare into global policy, strengthen action for the next 5 years, and shape a post-2030 agenda that benefits humans, animals, and the environment. The report cites several consequences of the current omission. Rising antimicrobial resistance, now responsible for more annual deaths than HIV/AIDS or malaria. Biodiversity loss connected to wildlife exploitation, land use change, and unsustainable fishing practices. Agricultural systems that externalize environmental and public health risks while accelerating climate impacts. This aligns with broader scientific literature, including Nature reports, showing that restoring wildlife populations could significantly increase natural carbon sequestration and ecosystem resilience. 3 pathways for integration. The authors propose a tiered approach to embedding animal welfare into future global frameworks. Strengthen animal welfare within existing SDGs, such as incorporating wildlife coexistence into SDG 11, sustainable cities, or aligning agricultural incentives under SDG 2 with welfare impacts. Add new targets and indicators capturing zoonotic spillover risk, antibiotic use, ecosystem health, and the phase-out of harmful subsidies. Create a dedicated SDG on animal health and welfare, elevating the issue to the level of climate, oceans, and poverty eradication while reinforcing One Health principles. The report also highlights critical sectors for reform: industrial livestock production, global fishing systems, wildlife trade, conservation management, and infrastructure planning. Areas where corporate ESG strategies and environmental compliance systems are increasingly under scrutiny. A turning point for policy and corporate action. UNEA 7's acknowledgement of animal welfare as relevant to sustainable development, alongside emerging frameworks like the Pandemic Agreement and the One Health High-Level Expert Panel, signals that global governance may be shifting toward a more integrated model. For companies, this direction suggests rising expectations around antibiotic stewardship, supply chain transparency, wildlife protection, and nature-positive strategies. With the world off track to meet the 2030 agenda, the report frames the next 5 years as decisive, aligning human, environmental, and animal health, rather than managing them separately, could become a defining feature of post-2030 sustainability policy. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment+Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team. And don't forget to submit your entry for the 2026 awards program. Deadline is 12/31/2025.